So a friend of mine, my old phone, the OnePlus 7 Pro, when this came out, I was at an event and he was like, "This is a cool phone. Is that a Samsung?" I was like, "No, this is a OnePlus 7 Pro." And he was like, "I know, but who makes it?" It always feels good to be back here. All right, welcome back. This is Jideani Says. Of course, most people have only heard about Samsung and Apple, particularly Samsung in the Android space. And I think it's a testament to how dominant Samsung has been with marketing, just making just good products, that people don't hear about anything else. So my sister thinks that Android is Samsung and Samsung is Android. She honestly thinks that they're interchangeable. This is a Xiaomi Mi Note 10. Now, this is not a video about features and specs, nor is it a video about the camera going in depth and details. There are a lot of videos that really go in depth about this camera system. This phone has been out for about 6 months now, so it's not new to the market, but it's probably new to a lot of you all that's watching it. But this is a $500 device, and especially for the people who just know Apple and just know Samsung, you haven't to struggle with paying $1,000 for a phone. But this device brings you a lot of value, and it does it looking extremely well. So this is a beautiful value. It comes in a 6.4 Super AMOLED 1080p, which gives you an 87% screen and body ratio. And even though this is not quad HD, the display on this is really, really good. It's bright enough that you can use in the extreme sunlight, so you don't have to worry about struggling in that department. But one of the biggest features about this phone is its 5,260 milliamp battery. That's probably the biggest, or one of the biggest, maybe top 3 biggest batteries in any mobile phone, which means you can get probably 2 days out of this if you use it accordingly. In terms of just the looks from the front side, it's a generic design. It has this curved glass design that gives you that waterfall screen type of look. It looks beautiful, as a lot of phones are doing, but it has that front notch that gives you 32 megapixels, and it takes really good videos and really good pictures. And then if you flip it on the back though, this is what I want you guys to see. So Xiaomi calls it Glacier White. The black one is boring. I wouldn't. A lot of these mobile manufacturers are doing this iridescence, parallax kind of approach where, depending on how you bend the surface, when the light hits it, a different hue of color just bounces out. So you can look at it from a different angle and you get the sunset orange, yellowish, or you can look at it from a different angle and then you get this ocean blue, then this purple and green. I love this. Keep doing this, because one thing is your device never gets old. You can't put a case on this, people. You can't cover up beauty. And I love that they continue taking approach with this. Me personally, I feel like this is probably the second biggest feature of this. Oh, well, you know how I am on design. Maybe this is the first feature. I don't know. Maybe this is the biggest one. But on that back is you see a penta camera system. That's 5 cameras: macro, ultra wide, the 108 megapixel main shooter, and 2 telephoto lenses. That 108 megapixels is really for people who like to get real close into their shots. When you print it out, you like to blow it up and still retain that resolution. That's what that's for, but don't expect it to outperform the rest of the cameras. It's not gonna do that. All of these cameras are pretty leveled. They look really good. The front-facing camera takes nice videos. All of these cameras do pretty good in low light situations, nice shots. I was able to capture some really good pictures using this, and I was surprised. No, I'm not trying to compare it to a Pixel or iPhone or OnePlus device. That's not the point. If your price point is $500, what I'm saying is there's hope for you with something like this. It is, and that's the value you get with this. Is you get one of the most flexible and versatile camera systems on the market for $500. You get a really, really nice screen. Who cares about, well, I do, I'm visually, but you don't care about you know, a super high resolution screen, do you? No, you don't care about that. Here are some bonuses though. I got y'all, I got you. Headphone jack. It comes with a headphone jack, and it comes with IR blaster. That's old school. I used to use that. You probably don't. But it's just some nice gestures. Then operating system UI, Mi UI 11 is on here. That's subjective. You may or may not like the experience, but who cares? Because you can slap Nova Launcher or any other launcher on here. The point that I'm making is a lot of the things that people stress about, you may not care, because as beautiful as this phone looks and the value and things that you get for it, maybe it's just everything else just doesn't matter. All right, but you'll probably be asking though, so where do Xiaomi cut the corners to keep this price point at 500? We'll talk about it, and then you can decide, oh, that's small fries, I don't care. You have one single down-facing or down-firing mono speaker system. There is no dual stereo sound system like some of the more premium expensive devices, but you don't need it because you probably listen to everything in the earphone anyway, right? And then of course we talked about this isn't a quad HD display. It's not IP certified, so don't go swimming with it. It doesn't have wireless charging, all of those things, so what? But probably the biggest one is the Intel processor that's in here. It's a 730G. It's not as powerful as the 855. It's not as powerful as the 865, but who cares? You can still play games with it. It'll still get the job done. I'm just trying to preach a lot of the value in phones like this. I think it's undermined and overshadowed because people look at something like this and then they hear about the other devices and features that people don't care about, and they go for that and assume that that's the better buy. So this may be the phone for you. So you probably haven't even heard of this phone. Some of you have, but a lot of you all that feel like you're kind of crunched and you got to get something that's $1,000 just so you can feel like you're ahead of the game. You don't have to. There are a lot of phones out there in the market, and I think what kind of just hurts it a little bit is you can't walk into Verizon or T-Mobile or Sprint. Oh, Sprint is T-Mobile now. Actually, T-Mobile is Sprint. They bought them. Damn, Sprint, I went out. Or AT&T, because these phones you can't really, they don't sell them in the store, so you gotta get them online. So there's no financing options, and maybe that's part of the problem. People haven't really heard of these phones. But the point is, you have options. You have options. And as beautiful as this looks, I want to keep emphasizing how beautiful. Did I tell you guys that Xiaomi calls this Glacier White? That's what they call this. I don't know how the hell they came up with that, but it just kind of fits. It's well built. I mean, the curved glass edges, it works. Yeah, we'll go with it. It has nice touches, not just with the design, but the charging implementation when you hook it up to a charger and that animation comes on, and it can top off what? I think in an hour, you can charge this from 0 to 100% in an hour for 5260 milliamp battery. That's a huge battery. You can go 2 days with that. And even when you start dying, you can juice up real quick. I mean, this is a beautiful value. So let me know what you think. Have you seen this phone before? Have you heard about it before? Do you have it? Do you plan on getting it? Is financial, why I keep saying that? Is financing it a detriment for you? Do you feel like that's probably why you wouldn't get something like this, is because a lot of your phones, you just kind of just finance it versus just dropping the $500 outright? Drop it in the comments, like what you guys said. And then, you know, if you decide to get it, there is a link in the description for you to get this phone at the lowest price. It's an affiliated link, so you kind of help out and support the channel that way. But that's it for this one. See you guys on the next one.